It's ever so nice to have your company on this edition of Racing to Win. Let's have a look at race number 8, the first leg of the treble. It's the Ahava handicap, and it's 1400 metres class 3. Go Ballistic, a former South African galloper on debut with David Ferrara stable, really going along nicely now. He's on a rating of 70. We go down to Interstellar, Mr. Alden Picken, Mongolian Legend, of course, Gason, the newcomer, former Australian galloper with John Moore on a rating of 70. He carries Saddlecloth 7. And then down the bottom, Regency Bobo jumps from gate 1, carries Saddlecloth 11, but take note, he is carrying 133. The top weight in the race, and clearly the next best horse is on a rating of 71. He has a rating of 79. Chunfar information, Picken, Mongolian Legend and Regency Bobo have been up at Chunfar.
Pace should be good here over the 1400 metres with Flying Victory at Interstellar up front. Interstellar's interesting. He's got gate number 9, Dylan Moe on board, so that might suggest they potentially roll the dice and go forward. You've got Regency Bobo, who's come up with gate number 1 getting in here. Prince of Gems, interesting horse back there as well is Joyful Moments. He's got a mixed profile. He went a long way back last time out, but he's got some speed.
Here's a horse we all want when we're having a bet, Money Back. He goes nicely here. Yeah. He's under a good hold as well as he comes down. Looks suited to Sha Tin is what I've seen as well. Only had the 1 start, barrier 5 for him, so he goes nicely, does the 3. Regency Bobo, he's 3rd up now. He was pretty short when he was 2nd up. Let the supporters down a little bit there last time when he was out favourite. But look, he's come back nicely here and his work's been good. He's got barrier 1 and the last one, Flying Victory. Another one who's had a few runs already this season. He's hadn't had much luck with the barriers. 2 starts back, he had 14. He's got 13 here for this one as well. But his track work suggests he's come on.
Yeah, he can be wayward, that horse, but he can gallop. There's no doubt about that. Let's start with a replay involving him, along with also Picken, who I thought ran really well. And Guy Dragon goes in 2nd up. He did close off strongly towards the end also. He
was really unlucky, Guy Dragon. He basically didn't get a crack at them the whole way down the straight. This was the race that was won by Craig Stay. You can see Picken in the red cap out wider finishing off. Flying Victory, he raced relatively close to them in those early stages, but just wasn't able to go on with it. He got tightened up a little bit there as well, but I thought Guy Dragon on this occasion was particularly unlucky.
Yeah, there wasn't much between the whole sort of first 7 or 8 home, was there? Good run from Picken. He just sort of blew up a little bit, I thought, the last little bit, but he's had that run under his belt now.
Yeah, he should come on for that. Regency Bobo has barrier 1, has the top weight to carry. Flying Victory on this occasion, he wobbled around the home corner after being forward and then dropped out. But he does have an engine, but he's obviously a little bit precious. Regency Bobo can lead when he steps well, and that might be a possibility there.
That's how I've looked at this race. I thought from barrier 1 was Zach aboard. He's now 3rd up. He's 1 off 86. He's down to a rating of 79 as well, this horse. So from barrier 1, he's the one I'm going to actually side with. So I thought it wasn't a bad run, even though he was favourite. He did, he was expected to win that.
He copped a decent old bump on the turn as well. I think he had a bit of a bump with cordyceps, but he ran on nicely. I think he won't be too far away.
All right, Mr. Alden has gone back to the trials. There's been a little bit to like about his 1st and 2nd up runs behind 2 decent horses in their own right in Golden 60 and Mr. Croissant. You can see him at the back end of the field being pushed on, but he does close off quite nicely. Draw is awkward, but he is a horse improving.
This was a 1700 metre trial at the Valley. He closed off nicely. He actually made good ground on the rail behind Mr. Croissant last time out. Peter Ho picking up the ride here for Tony Cruz, so interested to see how he can go here.
Yeah, the draw put me off with Mr. Alden, but he's only had the 4 starts.
Yeah, I made him a horse to follow after that 1st up run, but not quite sure he's there yet, but he's not far away. And Prince of Gems moving back onto the turf after what I thought was just a fair run on the all-weather behind Silver Fig.
Yeah, cheek pieces would go on him. He's on that rating of 61, barrier 6. He seems to be went okay for that particular trial, but I think I'll wait till he drops the grade.
That day went down on the all-weather. It was basically a leader's day all day that day, and he just wasn't able to.
No, and I might sound a bit unfair by saying it was a fair run, but I expected him to go pretty close to winning that. So who knows? Maybe he might like coming back onto the turf better. Paul, tips?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Regency Bobo to bounce back from barrier 1. I know he's going to carry the top weight, but I think he's a real iron horse and he's well rated at the moment. Picken was a really good run from him last time, and I expect him to run a nice race. Now, Money Back, I liked his track work, Money Back, and I think he looks suited to Sha Tin, and Flying Victory in there for 4th. We'll give him another chance. He's had a couple of runs now this season already. So 11, 6, 3 and 13. And I'll go QQP 3, 6 and 11.
Righto, I'm going with Guy Dragon. I thought he was really unlucky last time out. He's at 6.8 in the market at the moment. Over Pickin, who I think is a big chance in the race. Flying Victory goes in. He's got ability. He got tightened up over the final stages last time out. And Prince of Gems, he's on that mark of 61 at the moment, but he won a recent trial at Happy Valley back to the turf as well. So 1, 6, 13, 14.
Yep, similar numbers from me as well as compared to you guys.